That garbage. It's a bit messy, doesn't it? Effy pup. Chilled as a red letter media.
Bullshit. No stuff.
Which of course the volume's really low.
Yeah, you're gonna need a plan day for
that. Let's get the 5x5 out of the way first. An unboxing as well. Whee! Freshly smelled. Just another pilots. Oh, do not eat. Yeah, I don't know why that's in there. There's the 4 little aliens. We've got some instructions, got some boards, some rule books. There's the instructions. So look, got some tokens. The cards for the actual people and some really small tight corridors by the things. I'm guessing that is. So yeah, Vince. That must be. I don't know what that is. This table is not that big. Controller in the way. Move that there. Right, let's do the aliens first then. Let's see this table opened. This chair that I'm sitting in is really uncomfortable. Okay, so A5. There's A5.
I'm not an artist. I'm a fucking work of art.
There's A5.
Marilyn Manson?
Oh. There are 4. When she's dreaming about her Prince Charming tonight, I'll be eating hot wings with the lid on, which is right.
One bit.
Ooh. I think that was good. I'm sorry, I think it was.
Okay, where's A? Well, I hate it when they do this and thing, isn't it? Things so far away from each other.
There are 5. This fair trade coffee tastes like day.
A1, A2.
There are 6. I'm just a painting that's still wet.
The hell is A2?
I'll be smeared. You'll be stained.
Yeah, duh. Thumbs up.
Marilyn Manson.
Correct. There are 7. If you knew me like I know myself, you'd hate me like I hate myself.
4, 5, 3, and that's an open, not 4, 5, 4, 3, and 7. That's 7.
This is bullshit. I was gonna say Marilyn Manson did. He just didn't buzz in. I lost points, Jay.
That's 7. That's 4.
We're okay. Ready?
That's
This
4.
doesn't need no opera. We're here for the operation.
And bit number 3.
Correct. Now,
Yeah.
John Wade would never use a surge protector. Which,
6 for the tail.
There are 10. Buckshot glitter perfume is something you'd never want to wear. In your hair will be brains, and your shit will never be the same.
Marilyn Manson?
Correct.
Oh my days, there we go.
We're going to come to your house on the back of a
Oh, apparently that's a scout. And we've got a shulker next.
Most of these
Oh,
just like
okay.
monsters like you, girl.
Marilyn Manson.
So we want B2, which is up here.
Okay, listen up.
Is that the lyrics?
Lyrics from
B4.
that's like you, because it can be a noun, a verb, an exclamation, or the thing I say
Which
when
is-
something is unbelievable when I'm not able to believe how unbelievable.
Am I blind? And there's no B4.
Not believable.
I'm gonna go. That's so weird. I'm gonna go Bloodhound Gang.
Wrong!
Damn it! Damn it!
Ah, there it is.
Damn it!
But what kind of a
Apparently,
girl would want to sleep with me?
Need glasses.
Have to be fucked up to want to sleep with me. When she gets her panties lower than her self-esteem,
Need
I show her
one.
what her mommy did that made her daddy leave.
I'm gonna say Marilyn Manson.
You're gonna be wrong. Lyric 14. Give me a ticket sign. Make it blank and white, like all those stupid teenage girls. We're gonna meet it where we're going tonight.
The legs, they look like legs.
Wrong! Oh my God!
Is that B5?
Son of a bitch!
Lyric 15. Make a prank call pretending I'm a mime.
It's
Bloodhound Gang, bro.
doodly-doo. It's horror. Let's watch some dead meat. Okay, advance. Bye-bye, advance. Oh, what was that? That was 5, 97,
Welcome to the Kill Count, a retail app for victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm
and
Jason.
3. So that's 3.
Finally starting what has been the single most requested series in Kill Count history. Halloween, John Carpenter's 1978 film that ignited the
Top.
slasher subgenre.
And
As I said on the show
7,
before,
7.
Halloween was not the first slasher ever made, but it was the one that captured everyone's imagination. After producer Erwin Yablans came up with the movie's title and a simple premise involving babysitters, co-writers and producers John Carpenter and
7
Deborah
and
set out to make
finally-
horror history with a laughably small budget of only $320,000. Provided by Yablans and the quote-unquote grandfather of Halloween, Mustafa Akkad. There are lots of reasons this movie went so far on so little. From the iconic haunting score composed by Carpenter himself, to the suburban setting that made the audience feel as vulnerable as the victims they were watching, to the memorable
There's the tail.
by
And guard.
Curtis and the original Ernst Blofeld Donald Pleasant. But above all else, Halloween succeeded because of its blank-faced stalker, Michael Myers, also known as the Shape. Played by Carpenter Nick Castle for a measly 25.
Oh dear, we got another alien. Oh, we do. We've got a brute. He's on the other side.
Over the next couple of months, I'll be covering all of the Halloweens available on home video, meaning 10 installments and 4 different timelines. On October 19th, an 11th film will be released, which will set a 5th timeline for this year. But we'll have to wait for the Blu-ray for it to be on the Kill Count. Don't worry, even without that latest installment, we're in for a crazy ride.
So this one is the guard C3, C2.
And all the times when the series tries to reinvent itself, whether that's as a couple of hit millennial horror comedies, a low-class white trash hellbilly saga, or a Irish toy maker selling deadly Halloween.
C1. Oh, that's D1. There's a C1. Pay attention, dear boy.
The movie begins with a jack-o'-lantern and a title card. Right away, even the opening credits are iconic, since they're backed by that dope-ass Halloween theme, and because when it zooms in on the pumpkin's eye and nose, it looks like Michael himself holding a knife. Cool. After that, we're in Haddonfield, Illinois, on Halloween night, 1963, in a first-person POV shot.
C5 and 4.
The POV shots in Halloween.
That's 4. It's a bit long.
technology by cinematographer Dean Cundey, who would go on to shoot blockbusters such as the Back to the Future trilogy and Jurassic frickin' Park. We watch it all peeks in on a couple making out before they head upstairs for more heavy petting. After a stop at the kitchen drawer where Deborah Hill's hand grabs a butcher knife, the first person viewed sees the dude putting his shirt back on and leaving the house. It's only been a minute, dude. Was that one of those never happens to me situations? The camera heads upstairs and grabs a clown mask from the floor, obfuscating our view as it walks into the very open bedroom of the topless Judith Myers. Girl, topless hairbrushing is the best, I'm sure. But maybe close the door for it, or else you risk this happening. Yep, this is Michael Myers' first kill, his older sister Judith, and he's such a noob at murder that he...
God, why are there so many bits to clip off that tail? Like that. Right, put that in there. Start cleaning up these bits.
Out of the house, right as his parents pull up. The extended first-person shot finally ends when they demask him, and then just kind of stand there for an awkwardly long time without saying anything or emoting as the camera pulls away. Classic cold open, though. Jump to Smith's Grove in the same state, now 15 years later on Halloween Eve. Was a dark and stormy night when Dr. Sam Loomis, played by the masterful Donald Pleasance, going
That's clearly a bit that needs to be clipped off.
To go to the Smith's Grove Sanitarium. They're going to pick up Michael Myers, who Loomis keeps referring to as an it, and transfer him to another facility. But things take a turn for the creepy when they see that the Smith's Grove inmates are out and about, getting off wet. Instead of being concerned about them catching hypothermia like a real doctor would, Loomis trusses forward and hops out to open the hospital gate. That's when Michael Myers hops on top of Marion's car and grabs her by the face, tormenting her until she flees from her vehicle that he promptly Grand Theft Auto. Michael must have been top of the class in the Smith's Grove Driver's Ed program. The next day, back in Haddonfield, we meet Laurie Strode, a modestly dressed high schooler played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Her Halloween night plans involve baby...
Cool, plastics are tough for the knife.
She's all sorts of scared of the abandoned Myers house. Laurie has the key to the place because her dad's a local realtor, but as she leaves it under the mat, she doesn't notice that she's being watched by a shape inside and a shape outside. Must be one of those interior-exterior shapes. The shape continues its voyeuristic tendency.
So no foot is that where I cut off? What do you think?
From behind her Chambers' car parked across the street. But while Laurie's busy being an SMRT smart girl, he vanishes into thin air. Which way did he go, Laurie? Which way did he go?
I'll leave it on there just in case. Always trim it later before I spray them.
For Michael's escape, and says it's unlikely that Myers was headed to Haddonfield, 150 miles away.
For God's sake, he can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons.
On his way to Haddonfield, Loomis stops at a payphone to warn the Haddonfield police, and that's where he notices a truck on the side of the road. He finds evidence that Michael was there, but runs off before seeing our second body on the kill count. This poor truck driver, who Michael apparently killed in the script for that classic blue jumpsuit. Damn, man, stealing cars and clothes? Michael's just as much a thief as he is a murderer. Lori walks home with her cheerleader friend.
Don't drop things on the floor.
Totally got a problem saying totally all the fucking
Especially
time.
dark stuff.
They're joined by Andy Brackett, played by Nancy Kynes, whose credited stage name was
The last thing I need to do.
Nancy Loomis. Michael Myers rolls by in the station wagon at a nice slow stalkering pace, but that doesn't stop Annie, the sheriff's daughter, from playing citizen cop.
Hey, jerk! Be killed!
Michael stops his car threateningly, but after a pregnant pause, just keeps on driving. He catches back up with them later on the walk home when he's standing behind a bush staring at Laurie and Annie. But when Annie goes to confront him, he's disappeared once again. Michael does that a lot. He does it some more after Laurie gets home to a room decorated with smart person stuff. She sees him outside by the clothesline. Then
Oh, I don't like doing these tails. Clean up these tails is a nightmare.
Okay, we get it. He's a creepy stalker. Meanwhile, Dr. Loomis arrives in Haddonfield and goes to the cemetery, only to find that Judith Myers' gravestone has been removed, straight plucked from the ground.
He came home.
Later that day, Laurie gets picked up by Anne. For having smoking a dude and listening to Blue Oyster Cult, and they don't notice Michael telling them the Myers movie. He gets there in space and then pulls over to talk to Annie's dad, Sheriff Brackett, who's checking out a hardware store burglary that sounds like a very specific hit.
All they took was some Halloween mask, rope, and a couple of knives.
Wait, why did that hardware store have Halloween masks? Somehow Papa Brackett doesn't smell that dang weed in the car, so he waves the girls goodbye right before Loomis shows up and introduces himself. Loomis, look behind you, dude. The shape you want is right behind you. Night comes and Sheriff Brackett takes Loomis to the Myers house, where it all went down 15 years ago. They find a dead dog off screen, the first of many, many pooches that Michael Myers will kill throughout the series.
He got hungry.
And, did he eat that dog corpse, or is that a metaphor, Looney? During a tour of the house, Donald Pleasance gets the capital A act when he tells Brackett about Michael's psychiatric history.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes.
take some babysitting bugs. Michael silently observes Andy as she gets to the house she's watching over, the Wallace family home, while just across the street at Tommy Doyle's house, Lori is already nice and cozy, shitting all over Tommy's taste in comic books. Andy calls Lori to tell her that she's arranged a date with our virginal final girl with a dude she's into named Ben Kramer. Pretty much every scene with Lori and her friends involves them telling her she needs to get laid, but I want to mention this combo in particular just because Ben Kramer comes back in a hilarious way next movie. Tommy looks out the window and sees the shape standing outside the Wallace home, but when he gets Lori to look, Mike's pulled his disappearing act again. Turns out he's gone around back to watch Annie take her shirt off after she spilled some butter on. While he's peeping in, the Wallace family dog Lester comes across him and starts growling. Michael makes short work of the poor canine and kills him. But in case you're new here, I only put humanoids on the kill count. Sorry, Lester. Annie gets a call from her boyfriend Paul saying that his parents are gone and that it's bone o'clock. So she takes little Lindsay Wallace across the street to drop her off with Lori and Tommy. The kids immediately get to watching The Thing from Another World, a fun inclusion in hindsight, since Carpenter would go on to make his own version of The Thing just 4 years later, which is still the best horror movie ever made. Imagine. Lori agrees to watch over Andy's charge while Andy...
I forgot to do the base on the other one, didn't I?
Annie never gets to fulfill her teenage desires, though.
Oh,
After she gets in the car to go pick up El Jergo, she's attacked by Michael Myers from the back seat. He strangles her in a lengthy silent scene with no noise except for his heavy breathing and the sound of her struggle, until she finally starts blaring the car horn in an effort to attract some help. That's when Michael cuts the kill short with a butcher knife, slitting her throat as Andy Brackett becomes the third member of her kill team. Michael may be good at killing discreetly, but he's got to work on his body disposal, since Tommy sees him from the window.
I realize I can't actually see what I'm doing.
Props for being able to open that door with no hands, though, Marky. You'd be great at one of those grocery delivery service jobs. In case you were having some unpleasant withdrawals from a lack of Loomis, we get a fun little scene where he scares some kids that had bullied Tommy earlier. They're outside the Myers house, daring each other to go touch it like friggin' Boo Radley lives there, when Loomis overhears their names and fucks with them.
Hey, Tommy, get your ass away from there.
Loomis is kind of a dick to kids. I love it. But, sorry, back to horny teenagers. Linda and her boyfriend Bob roll up to the Wallace house so they can bang there while Annie keeps little Lindsay distracted. Of course, neither Annie nor Lindsay are home right now. So they're content to just make out on a stranger's couch, way too distracted to see the shape standing mere feet away watching them. Later on, they call up Lori, who tells them that little Lindsay is gone for the night, so they escalate to the basement of the Wallace home to full-on fucking in the parents' bed.
Oh my god. Look at all this bit.
They have an unusually short sex session, after which Linda is totally lying when she says it was fantastic, and then she sends Bob out to get her a beer. As he leaves, he breaks one of Randy Meeks' cardinal rules for surviving a horror movie.
I'll be right back.
After Bob grabs the beer, we get one of the best scenes of the movie when Michael pops out of the closet and starts choking Bob against the wall. It's a pretty solid jump scare, and the kill is Michael's finest in the film, as he lifts Bob up off the ground with a single hand and then uses his other hand to stab Bob with his butcher knife. The icing on top, though, is that when Michael removes his hand, Bob's feet stay elevated off the ground. Michael stares at the new wall decoration with a couple of head tilts, showing he can appreciate his murder art from multiple angles. Linda Vanderclock is our next hapless victim, and Michael dresses up for the occasion. It's Ghost Bob Michael Myers, and it's probably my favorite image from the movie. It's followed by what's probably many other people's favorite image from the movie, as Linda tries to seduce Bob out of his Halloween spirit.
See anything you like?
After Ghost Bob is totally unresponsive, Linda goes to call Lori, but as soon as Lori answers, Linda is attacked by Michael, who strangles her with a phone cord. Lori hears the noises over the phone, first assuming it's some kind of sex noise prank, but to her credit, she does become concerned by the time Linda is totally down and out for another kill on the count. After she's dead, Michael's all like, new phone, who did it? But Lori hangs up on him. Boring conversation anyway. And back to Dr. Loomis, who inexplicably just now sees that Marion Chambers' station wagon is parked across the street. Maybe you would have noticed it earlier if you weren't too busy cussing out the neighborhood kids, Loomis. But now that he knows
Yeah, let's hold that. Clean.
Lori heads across
I've
the
got
street
stuff in
to
there.
check on Andy.
Oh boy, please tell me we're not stuck.
After she heads upstairs, she follows the only light on into the bedroom, where she gets to kick off her final girl circuit by finding Andy's body
Right.
out on the bed in front of Judith Myers' gravestone. And as with any true final girl circuit, she finds the other bodies in unlikely ways, with Bob swinging down from the ceiling somehow, and a cabinet door opening on its own to reveal PJ Souls being a pretty
I need to get a lighter.
She scares Lori out into the hallway, where, in a very cool shot, a cape materializes from the shadows behind her. She steps out and stabs at her shoulder, grazing her with a slash that sends her over the banister and crashing to the bottom of the staircase. One of the most intimate movie chase scenes begins as Lori tries to escape through all these locations, but the movie has done a great job setting up, so you know the exact physical layout of that. I think it's one of the undervalued geniuses of this movie. Lori gets back to the Doyle house and is locked out as Michael slowly makes his way across the street towards her. When Tommy finally lets her in, she barks at him to go hide upstairs. With the lights off and the phone line dead, Lori hunkers down and grabs a knitting needle. Michael appears behind her, having come through the window. But when
There we go.
he's able to stab him in the neck with the needle.
How does this go?
But Lori's a Gen 1 girl who doesn't know the way this
Not on the instructions, not on.
A single stab has put her tormentor out of business for good. She goes
Okay.
to tell the kids that it's over and that she killed him. But Tommy knows better.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
Tommy's right. Michael's back, baby. Lori ushers the kids into one room and goes into another where she hides in the closet. Michael follows.
Might need to invest in some more glue, so that one feels like it's going to run out, especially with the amount of stuff that I've got to do. Right, body put together.
Stab Michael Myers right in the arm. Michael drops his knife and she presses on with the attack, stabbing him in the chest with it. This knocks him out again and gives Lori another false sense of security as she leaves the comfort of the closet. Once again, she consults the children and tells them to go down the street to Michael's house and call the police. After she sends them off, she sits there catching her breath. She doesn't notice when behind her, Michael single-handedly pioneered a new workout program, Horror Killer Abs. Get that six-pack in 10 movies or less, one sit-up at a time. The kids run out the front door screaming bloody murder, and since Loomis happens to be walking by, he puts two and two together and heads towards the house. Good thing, too, since Michael has made his way over to Lori and starts strangling her with his bare hands.
Last but not least.
Lori pulls off Michael's
No, this way, even here. Then I got
the very plain-looking face of evil. And the shot
Stop
of Michael was played by a dude named Tony Moran. Loomis fires his gun at Michael and follows through and shoots him 5 more damn times with his gun, sending the spree killer out onto the back balcony and over the railing, where he lies on the ground in defeat. After the gun smoke is cleared, Lori gets a debriefing.
Right, we can go on that bit. That might help.
That was.
Michael's boogeyman credentials are sealed.
It's all falling apart. I didn't put it in correctly.
Expertly with a montage of all the locations we've seen, as Michael's heavy breathing grows louder and louder, suggesting that nowhere in Haddonfield is safe from the shade.
Okay, let's stick it back together. Let's squeeze that in there.
Only 5 people died in Hollywood.
Yeah, there we go. Whew. This is why I hate building models. That's what we are. A4.
With a runtime of 91 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 18.2 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Bob. The shot of him pinned to the wall is one of the best shots in the movie, and the head kill that Michael does.
That cannot be A4.
Dawn Machete for Laytonville will go to the trucker, whose body wasn't even found by anyone but the audience. Poor dude. And that's it.
Yep.
Halloween came out in 1978 and ignited a brush fire of slash.
I was bent behind him.
Lengthy series of sequels.
A little more than that.
Halloween 2 next week. But until then, I'm Dave Beach. This has been a Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill Count. I want to thank a couple of patrons like Stephen Williams Swanberg, Gage Sales.
Can I raise his arm a bit? Otherwise, he looks quite casual there for an alien. He's like, hey, baby. I don't know if you can see it there. It's very casual. Okay, let's get this leg in place.
I found that unusually artistic. With her vehicle similarly sabotaged, Alice and Bill are stranded here until Steve Christie gets back.
Oh, I should drive fit. Why didn't I drive fit?
Teenage counselors get slaughtered. He gets back to camp only to be blinded by a light, and it ain't Manfred Mann. It's someone you recognize.
And then they drive before we add any more.
Killing. Steve Christie's killed with an off-screen gut stab that cuts away faster than a flying machete. The POV killer turns off the camp's lights through the power of...
What is this one? This one's a guard, apparently. They all look the same, really, apart from the poses. So, I don't know how I'm going to do this in game terms.
Oh,
hello, got a phone call. Hello? 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 Yeah, yeah, speaking, yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're a scam. Bye-bye. The housing disrepair team. Okay, yeah, that's convincing. Block that number. And also that she looked suspiciously Sabinian when she came in through that window. Alice's race was put on hold when she sees a car pull up. Good lord. Every day. A phone call from these scam artists.
An old friend of the Christies.
There, Alice. Betsy Palmer's here to finally make this movie interesting. You can already tell something's off with Mrs. B from her very first conversation, but she keeps up a facade of normality just long enough to fool Alice.
Actually, let's put on the base first, like it suggests, rather than.
Steve should never have opened this place again. There's been too much trouble here.
Prior to Friday, Betsy Palmer was best known as
Okay. Oh, it's a scout on it. That's good. So that's how we'll be able to tell in the future. That's for good, huh?
The same price as a Volkswagen Scirocco she wanted.
I need the car. Send me the script.
Palmer showed up the last 10 days of the shoot, and by all accounts was a lovely and considerate professional. Though she initially thought very little of the film, she came to appreciate that it kept her relevant late in her career. At this point, Mrs. Voorhees drops the act and reveals...
Oh my god, glue!
Did you know that a young boy drowned the year before those two others were killed? The counselors weren't paying any attention. They were making love while the
Stay.
drowned.
She says Jason's name for the first time ever and reveals that she's his mother, who's been trying to keep the camp closed since then. Thus, the fire and water poisoning that Ian mentioned earlier. Although all of that is cool in retrospect, it's an awful reveal for a movie meant to be a whodunit. The unmet mother of the unmet kid who was one time mentioned to have drowned is a pretty impossible thing for any viewer to have guessed. The only reason it works at all is because of Betsy Palmer. This is where he starts having a...
See, this one, the Shulker, is a pretty cool,
She promises that she will...
pretty cool model.
Negligent counselors like the ones that let him drown.
And the guard's arm's going off there.
Yeah, let's get this circus started for real. We've got some back and forth attacks, a dead body discovery, or two, Christy, and, you know, the whole screaming and running around thing. Mrs. Voorhees does her part to make the race special.
Stay.
And talking in a creepy little boy voice.
Don't you do it.
I won't. Gotta say, Betsy, whatever you're paying your dentist, it's not enough. She catches up to Alice for a few rounds of catch and a game of corner slap around, which saw Palmer actually hitting Adrian King for real.
When you hit somebody on stage, you hit somebody.
Alice King didn't pay her a receipt and actually uppercut her cooter with that gun butt there.
Anytime he's real. Can't be fire the forward. This is.
Twin rider strike that makes Mrs. Voorhees bleed from her head. Good work, Alice. A long fight between Alice and Mrs. Voorhees, which continues after Alice retreats to the beach, is filmed over 2 nights with fight choreography done by Sabini and Stavrakis. Since production couldn't afford real stunt doubles, all this action was done by Palmer and King themselves. They really beat the shit out of each other there.
We all did everything ourselves. I mean, what you saw was what we did.
Good thing Pam didn't land that German suplex there. Alice escapes Mrs. Voorhees and grabs her machete off the ground. In a classic kill, she charges
There we go. That was pretty cool.
in slow motion and cuts her head clean off, using some hairy hands.
Okay, right. Back to the butt.
Those hands belong to the vacant blood flow with Tasso Stavrakis. He had the foam Mrs. Voorhees had attached to his shoulder with toothpicks so it would come off easily when it was hit with that real machete. Alice walks away the victor and is floating in a canoe the next morning as the cops...
Alright, one done.
Safety at last. It's a lengthy sequence I enjoy, thanks to Manfredini's score, which opens up to the lush and melodic for the first time in the film. It does a good job getting you nice and relaxed, as does the peaceful lake water. And that when Swampy Boy Jason appears in the so-called chair jumper ending. Another thing lifted from another horror movie, as Cunningham and Miller were ripping off the jump scare ending from Perry. This first ever depiction of Jason Voorhees
Number
was
2,
performed by Ari
and
Actor, suggested by producer Steve Miner, since he knew it from Manny's Orphan, one of those kid movies he made with Cunningham and Miller. Originally, Cunningham was going to have his own son Noel do it, but his wife ixnayed that Ann played for him to be Ace in jail.
Were it not for her, I would have been Jason.
oh, I guess tail just loosened up as I dropped him there. Bugger him. Bugger.
And so was Ari Freeman, who had to submerge himself without
There we go. Clean that a bit. Good lord. Filth. Pure, unadulterated filth.
The movie ends with Alice waking up in the hospital.
It's a messy. Right. Last alien. Flip this over. You can see we've got the last alien to do, and then we've got the 2 Marines. So D3.
There was once a young kitty named Lucy who didn't get pets for
D1.
Oh, the horror movie characters around her were too busy being killed to pet her. What's that, Lucy? What about the others? Count them, James. Count them. I will, Lucy. I will. 10 people died in Friday the 13th, but those were make-believe kills. Unlike that fourth May, the victims consisted of 5 men and 5 women. A nice even split to kick off this franchise. With a runtime of 95 minutes, the unrated version that left us with a kill on average of 9.5 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw the coolest kills and jabs. I almost gave it to me.
Yeah, that's Shulker.
That kill was done with a fake head. The fact that
It's a great looking model, but it really makes me feel like that's going to fall over. Or it has fallen over, it is going to fall over. Like a Blood Bowl model. What one did I just cut there? I just cut an arm out and I did not pay any attention to it. D4, I think it was.
And that's it. Friday the 13th came out in 1980 and made more money than The Shining.
Oh, there's that one.
I think its success was largely because of its marketing, which brings up one more view critical to this movie's legacy. Frank Mancuso Sr. was a VP at Paramount and bought the American distribution rights for Friday the 13th.
I need some new clippers. These are really bad. Right, so there's the alien. Wow, that's quite a lot of bits to these Marines, considering. Right.
He believed in the movie's potential, and it paid off big. So much that Paramount asked for another one.
A1.
The box office reports came in. Part 2 would be released less than a year later, and I'll look at that on Friday. But until then, I'm James H. News. He's in the kill count. Next kill count. Remember the 90s?
Went to shopping at the Battlegrounds.
When shopping malls were cool, when the internet was a little baby, when you felt safe. Well, maybe not that last one. At least not in shady side. This small suburban town has a long history of tragedy. While the wealthier neighborhoods
Like, was it really necessary for them to cut her, like,
and handsome police chiefs.
have her chest separate and really small? Oh, I've got a choice of heads. Well, she's got to have a helmet on, surely. That's how she dies in the film. Spoilers. For a film that's like, what, 40 years old? Oh my goodness. A7 and A6.
Because this movie isn't just referencing slashers, it is one.
Right. And then we're the other pilot. The co-pilot. Spunkmeyer, that's his name.
And this Sunday, only 2 days away, tune into Dead Meat for the kill count.
That bullshit is potentially exactly
I remember, never forget Spunkmeyer, on the simple fact that he sticks his hand in goo, and then she says, "Spunkmeyer, where are you?" And it's like, oh. And I found that hilarious when I was a very immature child. Now, I find it hilarious because I'm an immature grown adult. Give me that gun. I'll nip this little head off just in case. I'll put that in my bits box. It's probably never going to get used because I very rarely do conversions. But, you know, one day I might. Like that strobing. Can you see that strobing? I've got a problem with my light. Look at that. We've got Mises in the flat. So, yeah, I'm a bit worried. They've chewed through the wires. That's going to cause a fire because that's where we've got a loft in this flat. And that's where it is. So I'm getting a teeny tiny bit worried.
But the other thing that makes the Springwood slasher so memorable is that he's not just a guy in a mask played by mostly interchangeable actors. Freddy is given life and a huge personality by the classically trained Robert.
I really need glasses or a better light. Maybe one that wasn't strobing. Can you stop? Like, no? Okay, we're going to get worse. Thank you. Thank you so much.
With all that in mind, let us begin this journey and get to the kill. The movie begins with some picture-in-picture shots of a dude hard at work. What you got there, disembodied hand?
Ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
What you have, and voila, we've got the finger knife club, the most iconic murder weapon.
Ba-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum.
Right off the bat, we're in a dream, which is pretty obvious. The nightgowns aren't
I'm terrible at playing on bases. I like to do it a little bit, and then I get bored really quickly. I really should put more time and effort, but I can't be bothered. I've got too many models to stick together. Like, oh god, I've got so far behind. I've got 3 Kill Team boxes. I've got Forge World Lord of the Rings box, which is going to get painted soon, I think, for the channel. I don't know if I'm going to do that like as a separate piece, maybe. Like a how-to. I don't know whether to do how-tos. Originally, I was just like planning on doing my hobby streak, but I might start doing little sort of basics videos for those who have only just started, because I've noticed a lot of YouTube basic videos, they're kind of like do as I tell you to, rather than, you know, go away, little bloody fruit fly. Yeah, they're kind of like do as I say sort of videos. I've noticed a lot of the channels on here when they come at tutorials, not, you know, you can do it like this, so you might want to do it like this. Can you get off, fly? Go away. Go, shoo. Annoying little git.
I'm gonna punch out your ugly lights, whoever you are. And then gets friggin' sacked by Rod. He's there to bang girls and style Commodore. He's all out of pomade. So what's going on here? An orgy or something? Not the type of guy to make screeching noises with a garden tool and pull a fucking switchblade on another dude, but Tina's still down to bone him anyway. Glenn tries to get in on the action too. Nancy ain't having it. She's a good girl. So he just has to lie there.
Yeah, I kind of want to do like a proper basics one for absolute beginners. Because I think a lot of YouTube channels do like an information dump, and I think people get a little bit confused, like they don't tell you how not worry about things, and just the most important rule of wargaming is to have fun. You know, that's the most important thing. Enjoy yourself. It's a hobby. It's meant to be enjoyable. It's meant to be fun. Too many people take it seriously though, especially the tournament scene. It's like, guys, chill, have some fun with it. It doesn't matter if you win. Well, the point of the game. The point of the game is to enjoy yourself, meet new people, have friends, make friends. And that's my favorite part when I was growing up, was meeting new people and having fun. I actually loved going to the Labour Club. Now, is that a mole line, or is that meant to be his headset? I think it's meant to be his headset, so I want to scrape that away. Yeah, it's my favourite part of when I was young, when I was first at war game, was meeting all these new people and discovering all these brand new games. I mean, when I was younger, long time ago now, good lord. So when I was in my 20s, well, actually when I was in my teens, my early teens, when I first discovered wargaming, I went to a club called the Good Old Boys, where I live, and it was a really good, really fun club. And I met lots of people, but I sort of discovered all these different games. But when I was younger, most of the games were restricted to things like indie games, which probably don't exist anymore, historical games, or Warhammer 40,000, and like Warhammer Fantasy. There wasn't much of a choice, but now you've got so much choice. I mean, just quickly, like over there, that's just some of them. Others have been packed. Because me and my partner want to move in together, and we're getting out of this, getting out of my flat. So I got ahead of the packing and started packing all that stuff.
wakes herself up out of the dream. She sees their dream injury follows her into the real world.
He's like really hunched over. I don't like how hunched over he is. He's like, his posture's worse than mine.
So Nancy finally begins to realize just how deep of shit they're all in. And it's pretty deep. That night she's enjoying some tubby time with her favorite blue bath pillow when she falls asleep. Freddie gets real suggestive with his love. Before things can get explicit, Nancy's woken up by her...
I was worried I'm sticking the wrong arms on with these on, but I don't know why. The blackness of them seems to make me slightly colourblind. Ah, there's too much globbiness on the end there. Let's put her on a base. Too much globbed out there. There you go. Might as well do you too, I guess. Spunk my hair. Okay, for some reason they've designed it so his name is they got their little names on. You probably can't see that, but they got their little names on there. For some reason, they've designed it so his name's on the back, which is a bit weird. Yeah, these are from Gale Force. What was it? Gale Force 9, I want to say. They're really the game's really fun. They did lose the license briefly. I think they got it back, which is good because the game's a lot of fun. And don't know how many more expansions they can really do with it. To be fair, they've already got all the Marines. They've got the Queen. They're unable to get back to Rod as he's being visited by Freddy via a very phallic rolled up bed sheet that wraps around his neck. It tightens and strangles him and drags him across the floor and up the wall. And you got the other Marines. And you got a load of like 3D replacements of the tokens as well. So you've got like sentry guns and boxes and things like that, which is pretty cool. This is awkward. Get in there. Number one, if the hair sound white, it just might remain that white for the rest of her days. I don't really have Hamilton lyrics for 2 or 3, but she's got a slash on her arm and she's pulled Freddy's fedora out of her dreams and into reality. But Nancy, how will he milady his way around Dreamworld? The next morning, after Nancy shows Marge the glob there. Written inside the hat, in case Fred ever had quite line up. Oh, you. Fred Krueger is dead. Nancy gets real mad that Marge has known about this dude. There we go. So mad that she smashes Marge's handle on the floor. Spunk my hair. Glue your beefs, and then we'll glue your tail on. You big brute. Looks like Mama Marge got drunk and installed a new security system in what, a single afternoon? And they say alcohol. And I realised I really should actually just put the glue on the base. That would have been so much easier. Again, building models is not my favourite part of the models. It's the playing, to be honest. Then the painting.
The lawyers got fat and the judge got famous, but somebody forgot to sign a search warrant in the right place.
Right.
So Marge admits that the parents trapped Freddy in an old warehouse, burned the whole town with him inside, killing him in the fire and taking for a death trophy his finger knife glove.
His Ferrero.
Tells him who Freddy is and how she plans to kill him. She's going to grab him and pull him out of her dreams into the real world. And then, I guess, Glen's supposed to do the dirty work?
I brought the guy in my dream. You see me struggle until you wake me up. We both come out, you whack the fucker, and we got him.
I still wouldn't be trusted.
Not going to see, not going to focus? Okay. You don't want to focus. There's no need to focus.
Whatever you do, don't
fall. Right, and then, finally...
not knowing that as soon as she's out of the room, Nancy's about to pull out her backup supply to get another fix of that sweet, sweet dough.
Glue's not quite dry while I'm trying to put this in, so it's really awkward. Ah, yes.
Fucking fuck ass is falling asleep again. So Glen's dad answers the phone and tells Nancy to leave them alone and takes the phone off the ringer so she can't call back anymore. Nancy gets a call back though, only as a horrible nail screeching noise.
Okay, I'm gonna have to wait for him to dry properly before I put the tail on. Okay, so let's have a look at the Master of the Universe Battlegrounds. I'm trying to stick with Spooky Month at the moment, but girls are scary, right? I'm Some people find girls scary. Like, oh no, girl. Especially if they're in popular media. Oh no, I want to keep this box and it's got stuff in. I want to keep those other boxes there. Right, so we're going to open Skeletor first. Let's see what comes from Skeletor. These are exclusive, Trade Zone Online exclusive. So you can't get them now currently. They'll probably be in the back. So we've got a hexagon base. We've got one sprue, which has got both Skeletor and Panther on. And we've got his cards for Battlegrounds. And then the instruction manual. And then we've got She-Ra. Alright. Oh my god, why is it all so far at the bottom? And then we've got her Swiftwing, her cards, other things in different languages too. I hope there are English in them somewhere. And I think they are. They look like there's quite a few cards there. So they're doing an atomic mess. Oh my god, I'm covering black bits. They're doing an atomic mess where it's everything in one box, which I've got to say, not loving it, atomic mess. You're not loving it because you're clearly increasing the price. So thanks for $17.99 for some Crisis Protocol cards, and yeah, barely anything there. Not happy at all. And people complain. People complain about Games Workshop. Right, so let's get Swiftwing. So we want turn that right round. That may help. Wait, hang on. Wait, this is all wrong. That's incredible, guys. Oh my goodness. So on the sheet, this bit points to 1, but 1 is pointing up that way. 2 is pointing up that way. 2 on here is I don't know what that is. It's up here, which is 7 according to this. Oh my god, guys. You kind of messed up there a bit, so I'm going to completely ignore the sheet. I mean, nothing quite like quality control, is there? And paying attention to what you're doing when you're doing instructions. Make sure you get those things wrong. Right, so there's Swiftwing, belly. There's, well, look at things, She-Ra. Oh, I'm not going to. Oh, I'm going to paint these together. Shazbutt. Yeah, they're molded together. They're not like the He-Man. And Panther Battle Cat set. They were separate, so I can actually paint those guys separate. I'm going to say separate one more time, just in case you didn't understand separate. So which leg is this? It says number 4, but we've got number 6 or number 8. Looks like number 6. Place your bets. Are you going to get it right? Are you going to get it wrong? Who knows or dares to dream? No, now we need to get the other leg. Thanks, guys. You could have done that in one bit. No! No! I knew that was going to happen. Every time I put models together, I drop at least one bit. At least I'm not sitting where I normally sit. At least that just had the option to fall on the floor, and that was it. We don't need that anymore. Go away. Because normally where I am sitting, it's like, oh, go underneath things. Go underneath things. Like, honestly, it's just like as soon as I drop anything near my sofa, it gravitates to underneath. Pretty certain there's some sort of tiny gravity well or something. It just sucks everything up. There we go. 7. Where's a sword? These are really nice models, by the way. If you're watching this and you're thinking about just getting Battleground, I would thoroughly suggest. Yes, it's a fun game. I only played it a couple of times, but I haven't really played much of late. I haven't had the time, which sucks. Nothing worse than being a gamer with no time to game. Why? They really got the numbers wrong on all of these bits. That's really bad. Bad show, Alpine. Especially for a promo piece. Good lord.
With that line and the countless references that
I need to be able to spray these up there.
They knew about Jason and Freddy and Chucky. They knew the so-called rules of the genre. Deadstream told them that knowledge wouldn't save these characters. They were going to die anyway. And how many were going to die? Let's find out and get some kills.
Right, let's clip out Skeletor. Yeah, He-Man. Now he and Panther are separate.
What number are you trying to reach?
That's good.
Thinking it's a wrong number, she hangs up.
That means I can
This happens a few times.
paint them easier.
Chatting like old college buddies.
So I won't be fully gluing these guys together today.
Gets freaked out and the stranger goes from sexy to scary. He tells her he's outside her house and has her boyfriend Steve tied up on the patio. Then, since he wants Casey to kill him,
He was very sword out this time. His main model is, and he got his staff. Oh, see, these are done correctly. These are numbered correctly, so it's just.
I feel like people often forget about
It's just She-Ra.
Pretty solid one to start the movie with. With a chair through the window and a flaming tray of popcorn, shit's totally hit the fan now, and after a well-crafted cat and mouse sequence, Casey makes a run for safety when she sees her parents on their way home. She doesn't quite make it, though.
I guess that's his tongue. I don't want to cut that out.
Her in the chest and choking her around the ground. Casey still fights back, but unable to call out to her parents for help, Ghostface knocks her down and finishes the job. Her parents hear her dying breaths on the phone as Ghostface drags her away, and they ultimately find her body strung up on the tree, her insides dangling down just like Steve's. Audiences were shocked that Drew Barrymore was killed right off the bat, and that's just one part of what makes this entire opening sequence an instant classic. Hard to beat this kind of kickoff. Next we meet Sidney Prescott, who's into MS-DOS and her super fucking orgy boyfriend.
I recently bought some Ghostbusting Orcs, an Orcto 1, as it's called, from Puppets of War. I bought the resin things rather than the 3D print STL files, because they do not have a 3D printer. Because they're quite expensive. I've also seen at a Firestorm Games in Wales, they had Guyver miniatures, which is an anime that I actually used to adore when I was younger, and I really need to invest in those guys. Snip. Snip. Snip.
Liver was a joke. Sidney goes home and takes a little couch nap until she's awoken by a phone call with
there we go. Like that. Right, these are going to be nice and simple to clear. Just drop the knife. There's a good rule of thumb for a beginner. Don't drop your knife because it'll stab you in the stomach.
She does run up the stairs, however, despite having just given a long-winded criticism of that trope in horror movies.
What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer's talking to some big-breasted girl who can't act. He's always running up the stairs, and she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
See how self-aware this movie is? Meta! She locks him out of her room and hits up 911 on her computer, which I guarantee not a single damn person did in 1996, before Ghostface suddenly disappears. He does that a lot. Billy shows up at her window with some excellent suspicious timing and then drops a cell phone. Since this was before we ever had a term like smartphone addiction, Sidney is frightened and confused by Billy's technology. He gets arrested on the suspicion of Gail Weathers shows up a bit too late for any action, and we find out she is not a very nice lady.
I know that you're about 50 pounds overweight, but when I say hurry, please interpret that as move your fat, double-lard ass now!
The sheriff interrogates Billy and his werewolf-looking dad, and the whole thing becomes a media circus, causing a confrontation between Gal and Sid, during which Sid brings up the book Gal's been writing about her mom's murder.
I'll send you a copy.
Sidney goes home with Tatum for safety, but gets another call from Ghostface, leading her to conclude that Billy is in fact an innocent, sweet little boy. The next day, Sid and Tatum go to school, with Tatum wearing an outfit that just, like, is that a...
Oh, that's right on her face. Oh.
Punching her in the face, and in a series of...
Careful.
The guy currently in jail for Maureen Prescott's murder is an innocent man. Sid's left uncertain, but Gail vows to exonerate Cotton.
I'm not
Gail isn't so bad after all.
You know what that can do for my book sales?
Never mind. Sid has a pretty rough go of it at school, with people running through the halls wearing Ghostface costumes, Billy telling her to just get over her mom's death. It's been a year. Some bitchy cheerleader talking shit about her in the bathroom, and then finally getting attacked by Ghostface again because this movie never lets Sidney be safe for even a minute, which I actually really appreciate. Principal Himbry doesn't take too kindly to all these shenanigans, so he takes the pranksters from earlier and is all like, "Hey, you're stoned." He plays around with the Ghostface mask and accidentally yells at the janitor, who's a way too on-the-nose reference. And then Ghostface shows up and stabs him. Henry Winkler does his best. Hey, I'm dying.
See, this is the bit I don't like the most out of all. I don't mind the clipping. I don't mind the gluing. But it's the it's the cleaning part of it. It's just so monotonous. There's a fly again. Go away. You little tad.
Okay, dude, not so loud, alright? Randy's money is on Billy, though, who pops up and grabs him by the shirt. He and Stu get all up in Randy's grill, touching his face and being weird and acting exactly like you'd expect a serial killer to act. Night comes and everyone heads to Stu's party at his giant fucking farm mansion. It's so bumping that even Gal and Dewey are there, making eyes at each other so effectively that Courtney Cox and David Arquette ended up married in real life after meeting on this film. In movie, it turns out she's using him, though, to get inside the party and plant a camera in the living room.
See, I don't like cleaning tiny little bits and like the swords and things like that. I'm always worried that I'm going to break the sword.
Stu, who's wearing this pimp-looking party-hosting robe, tells Tatum to go get a beer. On her way back inside, the door is locked, and when she goes to use the garage door, Ghostface shows up. She treats his presence pretty casually until he slices her arm with his knife. Then we get to see Ghostface do his hilarious pratfalls. First when she hits him with the fridge door, and then while she's throwing beer bottles at him. I suspect that this alone inspired Scary Movie. Look at that robe waving frantically around, and tell me that's not hilarious. With the door locked, Tatum tries to escape through the
This is how I do.
Ghostface starts up the surprisingly powerful garage door motor. Tatum, who's apparently stuck in the door because of boobs, is lifted all the way up to the ceiling and crushed to death. This may be the single most memorable kill from this movie, and it's certainly the most creative one, unlikely as it may be. Ghostface caps off the scene with a subtle moment of humor as he sneaks back into the party. As the party dies down and a bunch of people leave, Billy shows up, much to the dismay of Randy, who's crushing hard on Sidney.
There goes my chance with Sid. Is it? Oh, dang.
They talk about their feelings and other boring bullshit before Sidney decides that she's ready to have sex. Meanwhile, Randy, Stu, and a bunch of no-names watch Halloween on VHS, and Randy explains the rules of staying alive in a horror movie.
Number 1, you can never have sex. Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs. Number 3, never, under any circumstance, say, "I'll be right back."
They're interrupted by the news that Principal Himbry is dead, so everybody except Randy runs off, almost hitting Gal and Dewey in the process, who jump into a ditch and use the opportunity to finally get to make out already. Jeez. They also find Sidney's dad's car, and since he's been kind of a suspect this whole time, they hold him and run back to Stu's house. Sidney and Billy are cleaning themselves off after sex when Ghostface shows up and stabs Billy in the chest a bunch of times. Sid escapes through the upper story window where Ghostface knocks her down onto a boat and drives.
I'm gonna slam that down.
Meanwhile, Randy's still vegging out on the couch watching Halloween. Ghostface comes up behind him, giving Billy Kennedy the opportunity to be super extra meta.
Jim, look behind you. Jimmy, turn.
Before Ghostface kills Randy, he gets distracted by Sidney screaming for help. The only person around is Kenny, Gail's cameraman, but before he could be of any use, Ghostface slits his throat. Sorry, Kenny, you didn't deserve the abuse you got from Gail, and you never lived long enough to do that sweet Silent Bob cosplay you were always talking about. Sidney escapes Ghostface through this fun-looking van tunnel, and now everyone's just scattered to the wind. Sid's running around, Dewey's back at the house, and Gail finds Kenny's blood on her van. When she goes to call for help, she gets surprised by Randy, and she beats down with the phone. Then she tries to drive off, but she gets distracted by Kenny's blood on the windshield and his body on the roof of the van, as well as Sidney running out in the middle of the street, which causes Gail to veer off and crash into a ditch. No Dewey.
This is an awkward place to
Gail. Sidney comes back to the house to find Dewey
have
stumbled
a
out
bit
the
in
front
it
door
car.
with a knife in his back. Sucks, deucer. Ghostface follows and attacks her, trapping her in a police car where she tries to call for help. When Ghostface attacks Sidney again, she fights back, escapes, and he disappears. Which is a sentence I've said like 5 times already this kill count. Sidney grabs Dewey's gun and isn't sure who to trust, Randy or Stu, before making an equal opportunity decision. Fuck you both! She locks them both out of the house, and then she sees that Billy is still alive. Cool, just don't injure yourself any further, Billy. Oh, okay, yeah, just, alright. You good? Billy lets Randy in the house, and then here comes the twist. He shoots him. Bam! Jamie Kennedy down. What's up with that, Billy?
You're not calling him that.
Is that a reference?
Anthony Perkins, Psycho.
Okay, we understand you guys know horror movies. You're being a little extra. Billy reveals his blood is corn syrup, and Stu shows up and shows off the voice changer they've been using to make their voices all sexy, and then they spend a good long time mentally torturing Sydney in the kitchen as they reveal everything, starting with the fact that they were the ones who killed Maureen Prescott.
That woman was a slutbag whore who flashed her shit all over town like she was Sharon Stone or something.
Yeah, we put her out of a mystery because let's face it, Sydney, your mother was no Sharon Stone.
Billy explains that Sid's mom was sleeping with his dad, which caused his mom to leave his family. They framed Cotton Weary for Maureen's murder, just like they plan on framing Sydney's dad for all these murders. To seal the deal on their alibi, they agree to have a little fun time stab around, although Billy takes it a little too far. Now, this scene is when Matthew Lillard throttles his performance into the red zone. Sometimes it works.
Oh, Rosie, yeah!
And sometimes it doesn't.
Because let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
But I think it works more often than not. So thank you, Mr. Lillard, for whatever that is that you're doing. They get interrupted by Gail Weathers, who now has Dewey's gun, but when she agrees to take the safety off, Billy kicks her out onto the porch. He doesn't kill her right there, though, because he's a huge fan of Friends and just needs to see if she'll end up with Chandler in the next season. Sydney takes the opportunity to get away, teasing the killers with a phone call that really pisses off Billy.
But you give me the phone, Jack!
See, that's how it works. One more.
That's Robert Dagger.
Yeah! She pops out of the closet and beats Billy down with an umbrella before Stu charges at her and they have a little wrestling match. She eventually subdues him with a base to the head and kills him by dropping a TV on his face. It's funny how this kill wouldn't really work nowadays with all our light-ass LED TVs. See, technology makes us safer. Randy comes to just in time to get punched in the face by Billy. He tackles Sydney and raises his knife.
That fly is still about and it will not leave me alone.
Really, Billy, you probably should have killed out there on the porch. Randy tells them about the classic horror movie ending trope.
This is the moment when supposedly big Charlie comes back to life for one last scare.
And Billy's finally killed with a gunshot to the head by Sydney, giving us our 7th and final kill of the movie. You'd think there would have been more, but most of the time, Ghostface was just attacking Sydney and letting her
Go away, Fly.
Also, all the fake-out deaths don't help the body count, such as Dewey, who's revealed to still be alive and on a stretcher at the end of the movie, which closes with a report from Gail Weathers and a train shot of that awesome house. And just like that, the horror genre changed forever. Let's do the numbers. 7 people died in Scream, kind of low for a slasher, but this was more about the who done it anyway. Of the victims, 5 dies, only 2 were with a 2-to-1 gender balance. With a runtime of 111 minutes, we only had a kill on average every 15.8 minutes, but at least you got to hear a bunch of horror references during all that downtime. The golden chainsaw, the coolest kill, goes to Casey. I really like Tatum and Stu's deaths, but Casey sent me right up for the TV. It's still one of the best horror movie ever. The dull machete for Lena's kill will have to go to Principal Henry. A couple of gut wounds and an off-screen finish just don't compare to the other kills here. And that's it. Released in 1996, Scream is probably one of the most important horror movies ever made. And that's a fact, whether you love it or hate it. Make sure you subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next week for Scream 2. Until then, I'm James H. Beast. This has been the Kill Count. Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching the Kill Count episode for Scream. As always, I'd like to thank Bloody Disgusting for posting my videos on the site. I'd also like to thank a couple of my patrons, like Daniel Kopnick and Cameron Steele. To support me on my channel, you can check out my Patreon.
That was a bit too much of a big chunk, man.
Over there. Click it in. It's all right. Come on by. Hope you guys didn't get too much whiplash on Friday the 13th Scream. See you guys next week.
Oh, right, into the end zone, as it were.
I'm Dave Denise, and today we're looking at Hellraiser, a British
Actually missed, I did. I missed Swiftwing's belly. And I missed it there twice. Smooth move. You're useless. Absolutely useless. We're going to need instructions for to make sure we get Swiftwing correctly. Right, so this goes there. Yep, kind of goes there. Okay. I'm so glad the light's playing up again. There we go, that's that done. We'll let that dry, and while that is drying, we'll flick backwards and forwards.
Unlike those, Hellraiser quickly wound up in direct-to-video territory, and its later sequels began as unrelated scripts with the Cenobites forced in later. They're not good. That's why I'll only be looking at the first 4 Hellraisers this month. I'll maybe discoveries in the future if there's enough.
It's actually grew. Let's glue the old brute's tail on.
Clive Barker is best known for Hellraiser, but he was 34 when he made the movie and already an award-winning author, as well as an illustrator, playwright, and scriptwriter.
He is a creative genius.
Where are you going?
He would be sitting there thinking of one book, talking about another, and drawing something else at the same time.
His work in horror and fantasy, which earned him praise from Stephen King, often intertwined
Where is it?
sadomasochism. After being disappointed by early adaptations of his work, Barker worked with first-time producer Chris Figg and made Hellraiser his directorial debut, based on his own 1986 novella, The Hellbound Heart. His inexperienced directing is evident in the movie.
Yep, there we go. Right, that's that one.
And shots that are unclear in the meaning. Those flaws don't really
Okay,
matter.
so
I'm too busy enjoying the movie's strength. Barker approached Hellraiser more like an art film than a mainstream horror movie, with its terrors derived from danger just outside our realm of understanding. Christopher Young's
okay, so it's so weird.
matches the walk
Slowly but surely gluing.
The suffering is shown in graphic detail with some of the best practical
So you are
makeup of any horror.
into swiftly like this.
Explicit violence and the sexy sex scenes, I'm gonna have to leave some stuff out of this public version, even though I've got a sponsor. I don't want YouTube shutting this shit down.
There we go.
I will be able to get away with.
Oh wait, I could do Dweek.
Thanks to today's sponsor, Raycon. Raycon's every
I could be
are a great way to listen
also
to
gluing
For
Panther.
those who like pleasure without any pain, their optimized gel tips and soft rubber feel fit perfectly in your ear without any discomfort. Sorry, Cenobites, but sometimes you want to listen to music without also enduring eternal damnation. Raycons have a built-in mic so you can speak to the Cenobites when they come a-calling. And with their 8 hours of playtime on a single charge, you won't have to worry about putting the conversation short. Cenobites hate when you hang up on them. I recently used them when I sadly had to take down all my Halloween decorations. And I knew they wouldn't be dead since their included charging piece provides a 32-hour battery life. Raycon started.
I might need a little bit of putty before I glue. Ah, look at that big glob.
45-day happiness guaranteed. Can't get that kind of promise in hell, I'll tell you what. Get a pair for yourself by going to buyraycon.com/deadmeat. Unlike a puzzle box.
Okay, so the first leg goes here.
20% off your order. Are there more kills to count when they're mixed with
Yeah,
unimaginable pleasure? Let's find out and get to there. The movie begins with filthy fingernails.
Don't need
And
that.
that dirt digger's buying a box. Frank Cotton takes the puzzle box back to the candlelit attic in his house. There, listening and perfectly stumbled, he completes the box's puzzle and unleashes hell. Boots fly out and Frank Cotton screams. The next time we see him, it's in pieces all over his attic, which has become a jangly-dangly chain link. Looks like if you die by a puzzle,
Sure.
Beans in black robes approach and
All right.
picks up the box. It's repuzzled and the attic is clear, so nothing ever happens here. Sometime later, Frank's brother Larry comes to the house with his second wife Julia. Frank's been missing. So
And of
Larry
course,
goes back to the family
drop
home.
number
Although
2.
he may want to hire a cleaner since Frank's
There we go.
got to get gross and maggoty. Damn, Frank, did you really put your face on that pillow, man? Larry and Julia have a strange marriage, and she's not excited to be moving here from Brooklyn. But that changes after they find Frank's old belongings, especially some homemade Polaroid porn that gets Julia pretty excited. If there are more of these around the house, she's bound to call it home.
Why not?
Movie day comes, and one of the movers, I fucked Julia right in front of Larry. But Larry might be into cucking, seeing as his response is to go get them beer.
Why don't I get it? I got nothing better to do.
I know he was meant to be pissed there, but it almost seemed like he and Julia noticed that mover from across the bar. Really dug his vibe. Larry's daughter, Kirsty Cotton, played by
Okay, so where does this leg go?
also just moved to town. She's from his first marriage and has gotten her own place because she doesn't get along with her stepmother, Julia.
That your daughter? Uh-huh. Got her mother's looks. Her mother's dead. Oh.
Julia couldn't care
Oh, this is really, I'm going to try and, I think I'm going to have to put her body on next.
She remembers the time he first made contact with her, right around when she and Larry got married. Frank showed up and was like, "I'm all quick, can I come in?" And since Julia's apparently into drunk guys with switchblades, she put up with Frank's chin fetish and had an affair with her husband's brother. Their very erotic sex scene is intercut with Larry putting his hand open on a nail. He really says he goes up to the attic to show Julia.
Okay, that's back of the saddle.
Special effects done with reverse photography. It's just enough blood to kickstart Frank's resurrection. As Julia and the Cottons head to the hospital, corpse of Frank Cotton buckles and bubbles back to life. These special effects.
Oh, that does not like to sit on there, probably. That'll keep popping up a little bit.
In fact, this sequence of Frank reconstituting is probably one of my top practical effects scenes of all time. extra cash to create this.
Let's finish off Skeletor before we do anything else. Let's drop that there dramatically.
Then they melted all of it down and played the footage in reverse. As an extra detail, they created veins out of thread that they pulled out as the wax was melting. When played in reverse, it makes the veins appear as though they're growing into the body. I love this goofy nastiness, and Christopher Young's orchestral score completes this epic feeling.
Right, there we go. He-Man! That's got Skeletor done. He's not being glued to his base, so I can easily paint him. I'll just a bit of glue on there. That's not good. Right, so I've got to do She-Ra's shield next, which goes on her hip.
Frank tells Julia that he needs her help, and lucky for him, this chick's the world's #1 Frank fan. He says that Larry's drops of blood brought him back to life, so more blood will make him whole again. You have to heal me. Julia considers this proposal, and also considers how good he looks with skin. Because of that, she agrees to be a personal skin supplier. Human Frank was played by Sean Chapman, a native of London where Hellraiser was filmed. It was written to take place there as well, to make it more appealing to American audience members. New World
There we go.
Despite being very English-looking locations, Hellraiser supposedly takes place on the East Coast in the U.S. The Cotton Brothers had always been written as American characters, and Sean Chapman played Frank with an American accent. But Chapman was one of several actors whose lines were overdubbed, which he was never told about, giving us a sort of David Prowse situation.
Unnecessary crass.
Well, can I come in or not?
It has no tone or colour in it at all. It's just a kind of American heavy thing.
The next day, Julia goes to a place Patrick.
Right, let's put Panther's head together.
He takes him home, and when she starts to waver in her plans, he kind of feels his own face.
Couldn't change your fucking mind, are you?
You're not going to put her in the tongue.
She lures him up to the attic. He leaves sexy place in this remarkably unsexy house, but that doesn't stop the dude from stripping down to his tidy whitey. When she gets an opportunity, Julia takes a hammer and strikes the man multiple times.
Go away, little fly.
The job she's set out to do. All that for a guy who doesn't even want to be looked at.
Don't look at me.
Come on, Frank Monster. I want to watch. We do get a shot of the messy aftermath, but no more expensive transformation shots. The next time we see Frank, he's already...
Got to get a good old squeeze.
Oh, by the way, Frank, what's your favorite offbeat horror movie starring Elijah Wood? Oh, hey, me too. Frank says he needs a couple more bodies to be complete. It's the only way he'll escape the beings who are after him.
The Cenobites. It's only a matter of time before they find out. Slip them.
Then he and Julia...
Right, now let's glue
Julia finds that plan,
Swiftwing to the rest of Swiftwing.
Frank the Monster was played by Oliver Smith, except for when he's crawling around. For those shots, Frank was played by some kid. Oliver Smith was skinny enough to wear the prosthetics meant to be his flesh and bone.
Sticking something on top of someone, but making it look like and feel like that they've taken something away is a normal process in makeup, but this is amplified by 10.
To design the look of this skin person,
there we go. Right, I think I'm going to stick the wings on after I've glued into the base, because otherwise that's going to be a tricky situation. Get Panther's arm in. Right, so
below his neck, it was a reusable bodysuit covered in KY jelly, but he couldn't handle the head casting process to make a reusable.
Why is a She-Ra theme in my head? Oh, well, it's because I'm doing She-Ra. Oh, yelling downstairs. Someone's in trouble. Hey, there we go. There's Panther. All stuck together. Focus. There you go. There's Panther. On Skeletor that goes with him. Again, I'm not going to stick them on at the moment, so they can. It's easier for me to paint Skeletor, because otherwise there'll be bits that I completely miss. I don't mind doing it for certain models, like if they're non like hero models, but for hero models, I much prefer to paint everything separately, so that way they can. That way, that's a huge hole. Woo! There's a huge hole there, considering these do not have massive. Okay.
The original 4 Cenobites are Chatterer, Butterball, the female Cenobite who isn't given a name, and Lead Cenobite, also not given a name in this first film. He'd quickly become known as Pinhead, a nickname given to him by the makeup effects crew. Clive Barker always bristled at that and prefers the moniker Hell Priest. Anyway, this leather game fucked Frank's shit up, so he makes Julius swear to help him. The Cenobites were never intended to be the focal point of the film, but with their striking makeup design applied by the team at Image Animation and their suggestive leather attire done by costume designers,
these are going to snap right off.
Why they became fan favorites. These extra-dimensional beings, who are neither good nor evil, were designed by Clive Barker and Bob Keane.
These are not secure, which is shocking. It's like really well built, but I don't know, a bit shaky on old Swiftwing.
But they both returned for the sequel the following year. The same cannot be said for Grace Purdy, the female Cenobite, who was uncomfortable with the makeup process and how it made her look. And then there's Pinhead. The regal lead Cenobite was played by Doug Bradley, who had acted in plays that Barker wrote after the two of them but Pinhead will always be the actor's legacy. His unforgettable appearance, head divided into square inches by nails, was applied by Jeff Portas in a process that took.
Oh, you see what I mean? It's just gluing a wing into a hollow gap.
He quickly learned that Barker wanted a subtle and authoritative performance.
From the first day of filming, he kept giving me one note, which was do less. Just take it down, do less, take it down.
I absolutely love Pinhead and the way he wields the power of hell indifferently. It's a testament to both the makeup crew and Doug Bradley as an actor.
It's the wrong actor again.
Oh my god, stick! Stick. It don't want to stick. Oh, because there's nothing to stick to. I'm literally like. This is generally really horrible. There's like nothing to grip to, there's nothing to put in.
Kirsty comes inside and watches as the dude stumbles out of the attic begging for help. She offers a hand, but Frank comes out and finishes it.
It's just a matter of
Frank tells Kirsty who he is.
Holding it. They are definitely going to snap off. See, the other one's already coming off. There you go, there's Swiftwing. Look at that. Look, the arms. What is going on here? This looks rubbish.
Frank is obviously attached to you. Give it to me. Whoa, with that tone, maybe Kirsty's kink is humiliation. She throws it through the window, which gives her the chance to flee. On her way out, she grabs the box.
There we go, looks a bit better, doesn't it? Oh, that's not a fun thing. But there we are. That's all of today's done. If you watch this after it, thank you very much. And I hope to see you again. Diddly bye.